on. Lights, camera, action.
You are now tuned into your favorite homegirls. I'm Randi Noble.
I'm 𝒀𝒐𝒊𝒓𝒍�, the Empress, aka 𝒀𝒐𝒏𝒏𝒆𝒄𝒕𝒆💄💧.
And collectively we are
the new Black Girlz.
A podcast dedicated to reclaiming our voice.
Living out loud.
Unapologetically
Black and proud.
Y'all, this is our first episode.
It's episode 1 and it is Juneteenth, baby.
Okay, it's a celebration.
It's a celebration. We
so
got our
had
champagne.
To bring the champagne. And I hope you got your glass. I'm going to give you 2.5 seconds to pour it up if you don't.
Ready, set, go. Okay, now let's make it toast. Let's make it toast together.
To our new community, the new Black Girlz.
We've been waiting on y'all to open this champagne too.
To taking up space.
Yes. And shining wherever you go and keeping that fucking flame lit.
Cheers, baby.
Cheers. Oh yeah, that's nice and cold.
Delish. Damn.
I love that. I love me some bubbles.
Y'all, I am so excited to be premiering our first episode on Juneteenth. This is basically my favorite holiday next to my birthday.
Yeah, it's such a special occasion and I feel it. The energy is in the air. I can see it everywhere. I can feel it. It's in the bones. It's in our DNA.
Yeah, even the fact that we're here premiering our episode on Juneteenth, I just think it signifies what our mission is. You know, it's just so aligned.
Yeah.
And to think back at the beginning of the year when we did our vision boards, we literally wrote running a podcast on there. So...
And now we're here.
I feel so blessed.
And now we're here and we're with you all. And this is so special because it means a lot to us to be building this community. Not just, you know, I know I've gotten a lot of questions about who the new Black Girlz are, what it means, what it represents. So let's tap into that real quick for a second.
For sure. So I would say the new Black Girlz are all about empowering ourselves as well as our fellow sisters and brothers.
Yeah, one another for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's that support element. It's knowing that there's space for everybody because we are creating our own space and taking up that space. And it's all about that encouragement and uplifting of one another along our journeys as we are all making our dreams come true and we're all in the same boat.
Absolutely.
So why not do it together?
Yeah.
And I'm so excited because our topic today is all about celebrating yourself while cultivating community. And I just think it's so awesome that we're starting off with this topic. It's on Juneteenth and everything because it all is just divine. It goes hand in hand. So let me start off by asking you, Randi, how are you doing today? Like, tell the people a little bit about yourself, how you're feeling. For those that don't know you, because this is my bestie and she's lit. Randi Noble, everybody.
Yes. Okay, my name is Randi Noble. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. I moved to Los Angeles almost a year ago. My anniversary is coming up next month.
Oh my God.
So this is so full circle to be starting this journey right now.
I know. This is so crazy. Don't cry, girl. Don't say the tears. Don't make me cry. Oh my God.
But yes, I moved to LA because I needed the right environment in order for me to thrive and pursue my passions with the right, you know, community, environment, resources around me to really elevate. So I'm really passionate about community building. Also, I love hosting events. I love speaking and connecting with people. I'm just an all-around source of energy and inspiration. And this season of my life is really about, like, owning my ability to influence. So I'm really stepping into my power and activating it. And I'm just blessed.
So beautiful. Yeah. Give it up for Randi. I love that. And you said that so well. And literally everything that you said is what you represent every day. And I'm just so proud of you every day for what you're doing and just stepping into your power, you know, and just allowing your light to shine. So
thank
keep
you,
that flame lit, girl.
sweetheart.
Yes. Cheers to that.
But let's get into my best friend.
Guys, I'm 𝒀𝒐𝒊𝒓𝒍𝒛, the Empress. You already know, Jazzy Rich. And I'm an artist. I'm a creative. I'm a active person in the community. I just love to love on people. I love to be happy, and I love to go where I'm supported.
Absolutely.
And whatnot. And I also just love to dive into my own self and my own creativity. I've had my own spiritual journey, and it's just led me here to LA, California. I moved here from Washington, D.C. Shout out to HU, Howard University, because that is my alma mater. And I've kind of lived everywhere, but me and Randi connected because we were both born in Buffalo. And
Crazy.
So crazy, because we met out here in LA in July after we both had just basically moved out here. So that was just crazy. And I'm in LA to like expand and to really take my place within my passion and go around the globe from here. You know, like I make music, I make art, I make content. I just love to be creative and shine my light, because I know it allows others to do the same.
Exactly.
And I just love to be an inspiration and lead through example. So that's why I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really happy that we are talking about community, because it's so important when you are pursuing your dream and learning what you're passionate about and living in that passion and connecting that to your purpose. Community is that number one thing that's going to make that bridge between your passion and your purpose, because that's going to be the people that support you, the team that's around you, like the environments that you're in, and that's really what's going to make you who you are. So us being here in LA and us creating this platform to share our experience with you guys is just all about that, taking you with us and inspiring you to do the same as we all pursue our different paths.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So well said, babe.
Thank you, babe.
So I just want to touch on, what does community really mean to you? And what communities were you involved in as a child? And how did being a part of those communities really influence you?
That's great.
Yeah. I guess I can start off.
Yeah.
So community is everything to me. I feel like being a part of something bigger than myself allows me to go even harder and move even further in my pursuits. Like, as long as I have a team that I can look to that's striving to be better, like, that motivates me so much. You know, like, it doesn't intimidate me. No, it genuinely inspires me. You know, I'm better because I surround myself with communities that reflect the highest version of myself.
Amen.
It's so vital. And so as a child, the first community I was really introduced to was my church community. Like, my grandmother took me to church when I was 7, and I was immersed in every active service, from singing, praise dancing, hosting as a mistress of ceremonies for events, ushering, like, literally everything you can think of. So I had this family and community that was supporting me and saw my light and encouraged me to keep going and keep shining. So here I am, you know, as an adult, and now it's just like second nature to do those things because it was instilled in me as a child.
Yeah, and I love that she's saying this, because honestly, like, if you were to ever meet Randi in person, which you will, because we gonna be in your city soon.
All around the world.
Do you hear me?
All around, Saturday.
Yeah, like, you're gonna see that, like, that radiates off of you no matter what room you enter into. Like, that's the energy that you're giving off, and that's also what you attract.
Yeah.
You know, like, you just definitely take up space in whatever room you walk into, and you own it. You know what I mean? You're so comfortable being in that space. And the fact that you're embracing that and taking that to the next level is just so perfect for you. So I'm really proud of you in that.
Thank you, bestie.
Yeah, of course.
So how about you?
So, yeah, community for me, it's always played a big part in my life, a big part in my success in so many more ways than one. I moved around a lot growing up, so my number one community has always been my family. I have three siblings, 2 sisters and a brother, and then both of my parents have a lot of siblings, so family dynamics and family reunions was always huge for me.
Oh, yes.
You know, and then just moving around a lot. Also, sports was a way that we definitely integrated into communities and built teams and
Yeah.
whatnot. So that was kind of like my first starts with community, also outside of church and whatnot. And then from there, I went to Howard University, and that's where community expanded for me. That's when it became like, wait, there's so many people out here that look like me, that are so talented and smart and creative, and to just be in this like bubble with so many people that inspire me, it really like made me believe in myself in a different way. And that's when I really realized, like, wow, community is so important, because you learn that you have people that you have shared interest with, but then you also have people that you have shared values with, and like, what is the difference?
And we're gonna touch back into that.
And we gonna tap into that for sure. And then expanding from there while being in DC, just throwing myself into the actual community that I was in, and working with the DC middle schools, the Boys and Girls Club, working with the youth, and becoming a mentor in the community, and also being rewarded for that. I received the recipient award for Top 30 Under 30 for Radio 1 WKYS in 2017, and that was that's for like being a community leader in the work that I was doing within the community through my company 𝒂𝒚, which stands for the highest degree, like literally the pinnacle, top notch, like full development. And that's really what I was sharing with the youth throughout the community, is like, you know, there's no limits to what you can do.
Right.
You can do anything, and it really starts with you believing in yourself. That's that celebrating self element. And then also like you having that faith in whatever it is, that whatever seed you have in your heart, whatever it is that you desire, like knowing that you can make it happen. And you don't have to have all the answers, but as long as you believe in yourself and you know that you have community around you, you can find that community and you will attract that community. And that's when you start to build on it and make your passion like your reality.
So well said.
Yeah, it's so great. So it's just inspiring work, but I think that that's why community is so important. Like when you break down the word, it's almost like common unity. Like what are things that bring you together? What are things that you look for? Like, how does your community feel? You know, different things like that. Like, what does it mean to you, and why is it important for you? And I think that as you develop your own sense of self-awareness and you start to develop those parts of yourself, that's when you can kind of learn how to answer those questions and learn more about yourself, so that you can, you know, pair up with the right people.
Absolutely. Yeah. For sure. So that kind of leads us to our next point. How do you find the right community for you? So we have created 5 points. It's called the 5E rule.
The 5 E's.
All right. So those 5 points are emotional intelligence.
Bingo.
Education. Energy budget.
Yes.
Environment. And empowering connections.
I love it.
Yes.
Each one of those speak to me for so many different ways. Like, I love it. Let's get into
it.
Oh my gosh. So, okay. Starting with emotional intelligence, right? I actually got the definition for you guys here for emotional intelligence, and I'm going to read it out for you because it's one of those things that you don't know until you know.
Exactly.
Especially as a woman, like everybody's always talking about how emotional we are, which I think that men are actually, they could be even more emotional.
The real tea.
Like, I don't know about all that.
Okay.
We gotta fact check that. But once you are in control of your emotions, or you understand your emotions, that's when your power can really be unlocked. Exactly. Yeah. That's when you really tap into something. Yeah. So the definition of emotional intelligence is basically, in a nutshell, emotional intelligence refers to the ability to identify and regulate our own emotions, to recognize the emotions of other people and feel empathy toward them, and to use these abilities to communicate effectively and build healthy, productive relationships with others. Okay.
Yeah. So,
and this is a lot.
Yeah. So really, to sum it up, it's all about self-awareness.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Knowing your triggers.
Yeah.
Knowing your standards. Knowing what makes you feel good.
Yeah, literally.
Like, For real.
Literally, like, knowing yourself and knowing, like even when I think of emotional intelligence, it's like knowing how to put your ego in check. You know what I mean? Like, your own strengths and weaknesses. These are things that you need to know about yourself so that as you go and start to build your community and look for your community, you can know how you need to manage your own self and how you need to move in these spaces and what would actually be best for you and what your own intentions are. And that all comes from self-awareness. You know, that might look like going to therapy and getting some healing through therapy, or even through your own spiritual journeys, whatever it is that you need to do to kind of have that checks and balances over yourself so that you can really have healthy relationships and healthy bonds. And
for sure,
you know, like, making sure that you're not projecting insecurities. Like, in order to have community, you have to be able to trust people, trusting one another. Like, if you have issues with trust, that's something that you really need to work on in order to build the community that you really desire.
Absolutely. And also, I think of pouring from, you know, an empty cup. You want to make sure that your glass is full before you extend that to other people.
Okay.
All right.
Make sure your glass is full. I might need a refill.
Yeah. So how have you built your emotional intelligence?
Oh my gosh. Yo, I've been on my own spiritual journey for years.
Yeah.
And even to this day, it's something that is still challenging for me to recognize that I am not my emotions. It's more like the wind. It comes and goes. And you have to be able to be that middle seat in the middle, that stillness, that God that is within us all, that's non-judgmental over yourself and over your own thoughts, and know how to keep yourself in check. And you saw on my sign when you came in here, I just wrote this morning, like, it doesn't fucking matter. Pardon my language. Pardon my language, but it's because I had seen, there was this girl on TikTok, I don't know her name, my bad girl, you know who you are, and she was just talking about, her example was just being in the gym, and I guess she's a bodybuilder, but her mentor was like, she had something where she messed up her foot, but she still had a competition, so she still had to, like, get up and put in that work, and the girl was like, how are you doing all this when you're not feeling well? And straight up, she was just like, it doesn't fucking matter how I feel. Like, this is something that I committed to. This is, I have a desire of the way that I see my future self, and in order for me to get there, I have to do it no matter what. It does not fucking matter how I feel. Real. You know, it doesn't matter that, you know, my stomach hurts or that I'm on my menstrual right now. It doesn't matter that I'm tired. It doesn't matter that I don't feel like doing it. You know, if you let your emotions control you, then you're gonna fall short every time, because now you're not in control. Something else in your mind is in control. Powerful. Right? So it's like, that's the emotional intelligence part, is being the intelligence of your emotions. Oh, okay. Let's break it down.
That's the motherfucking part right there.
Keep it simple.
Can you repeat that, baby?
Let me try. So, what I said was, that's the thing about emotional intelligence, is you are the intelligence over your emotions. You have to be smarter than them. They can't run you. You have to run them and put them where they belong. Put them in check. Ego check. Hello.
Yeah. So what helps me personally is, as soon as I wake up, really devoting those early morning hours to my spirit.
Yes. Amen.
Before I can, again, give and extend to anyone else, I have to pour into myself. So what that looks like for me is journaling, doing my yoga. Shout out to Nico, okay? I love this woman so much. She is my YouTube yogi instructor.
I love that.
She's amazing. Her name is Nico.
Shout out to you, Nico.
Shout out to Nico. So I do my yoga, my journaling. I set my intentions for the day, like my to-do list, anything I need to get out the way. I also write down what I'm grateful for.
Amen. Every day.
Because I'm abundant right here, right now. And so are you in this present moment. And it's just really acknowledging, like, all that we do have instead of what we lack. You know, that really, really, really has done wonders for my emotional intelligence.
I love that. There was this thing I was listening to, and she asked one question. She was like, are you in love with the moments you are living? How deep is that? Ask yourself that. Like, are you in love with the moments you are living? And it's like, it's when you tap into that, because you can be. It's all about your perspective during that moment. You know what I mean? And so I love that you mentioned what you do in the mornings. And that's also something that I do is every morning, like, I journal. Like, I write down what I'm grateful for. I make sure to start my energy on a high vibration. Because I know that I'm here for a reason, and I have God's source walking through me every day. So as a vessel, I have to make sure that I'm in alignment before I go out into that world, because out there's all this contrast.
So many energy vampires.
It's so much going on out there.
Like,
it's a lot.
Y'all know.
It's a lot. So you got to make sure that you're anchored. Like, you got to know what makes you grounded and what you need to do in order to stay in alignment. And, you know, that also goes into our energy budget, which is another E. We gonna get to that too, babies. But for emotional intelligence, I feel like that really encompasses everything. Like, self-awareness. Like, really get to know yourself when you before you start to venture off into building that community and cultivating that community, so you can show up authentically and, like, shoot to be your highest self and have that integrity no matter what space you step into. Okay.
Period, baby. All right. So once you master your self-awareness, you're working on that, that leads to education, which is essentially self-development.
Yes.
How are you building your skills? How are you educating yourself?
Yeah.
Acquiring that new knowledge, because knowledge is power. We know this, you know, and we're in a constant state of being a student, right? Like, I'm never just in charge, and I'm never a know-it-all. I'm constantly absorbing from others and gaining new knowledge.
Yeah, that's why we're here. Like, we're here to keep learning. And so that educational component is so important, because now you get to invest in yourself. Like, now you get to really set your intention and think about, okay, now that I know more of myself and what I want and don't want, and, like, my strengths and weaknesses, now you get to choose, like, who you want to be, and start to find the support and the education that will bring you closer to that version of yourself. Okay. And that can look like so many different forms. Like, for me, going to Howard as an HBCU added to my education, not just of myself, but puts me further in alignment with where I see myself in the future. And just from being in that kind of space, now I have an opportunity to build community with others that see themselves in a certain way, or that have, you know, common goals with me in that form. And then also, we were speaking earlier on, like, something like mentorship.
Yeah, absolutely. I have so many mentors in my life that just keep me on the straight and narrow. You know, I'm able to come to them with, you know, concerns that I have, and they're able to kind of redirect me and put my mind at ease. That's important. We all need that kind of support.
For sure.
Yeah, and that's all about, like, educating yourself, because, you know, you won't always have the answers.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're not, you know, we're here to grow and we're here to learn.
Exactly.
So that's the exciting part about it, is the journey. Like, the whole point of faith is to just believe, have that belief that it's going to happen. You might not know how, you might not know when, but when you trust and you believe in yourself and you believe in God, that there's a plan out there for you, that's how you can walk into that confidence and have that confidence to go and learn more. Like, that's part of being successful, is, like, learning, trying, failing, learning some more. So that's why education is so important within your own self-activation journey, I would say.
Right.
Because that development part is what is going to take you from one level to the next. And especially when it comes down to building community, that's when you get to meet people and learn how to share your dream. Like, now you get to actually talk and express about what it is that you're doing, what you like to do. And then that's where you kind of start to find connections and other people that might like to do what you're doing, or know somebody else that does what you're doing that you can learn from, or somebody else that can guide you along your path, is when you're seeking that education. Like, that's where those opportunities are. It's where it's like those connections can turn into something so much greater.
Yeah, for sure. And even deciding to put on our podcast today is a way of educating yourself, right?
For sure.
Because you're learning a different perspective.
From the new Black Girlz.
Come on now.
Because why not? We're here.
And we wear a sack.
And we wear a sack. So I love that. So we have our emotional intelligence. Once we got that in check, now I'm more self-aware. Now I can educate myself and learn what I don't know, learn what I want to know more of. Let me develop myself, right? And then we're going to get into that, self-regulation, right? Because now that I'm on that path of learning and discovery.
Exactly.
There's different things that might pop up. Woo, there's some distractions. There's some different energies that you're going to have to manage along with your own emotional self, you know? Yes. And that's where energy budget comes in.
Energy budget. This is my personal favorite.
Mine too. Yeah. I love energy budget because I had to learn a lot.
Oh my God.
It taught me a lot of lessons.
Listen, you know me, and some of y'all know me. Y'all gonna get to know me. But I am such a free spirit, and I was giving so much of my energy out for free. It was sick. And I had to do a self-check and get right, because I realized I was doing too much.
Me too, girl.
Okay? Mm-hmm. I had to really prioritize how I'm giving my energy. Mm-hmm. Like, how I'm giving and receiving that. It has to be a give and take.
It does.
All the people in my life have to bring me value. It has to be a mutual, reciprocal energy, or else I don't want it.
Amen.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that? Because that's an important realization. Like, you don't have to hurt yourself and fail to, like, learn that lesson right there. That's the blueprint.
It is,
like,
truly.
Get that together real quick. The sooner you have that in check, the better off you'll be with your own self and your own timing and just staying focused, because once you are on your path and you have goals and dreams and vision, there's not much wiggle room. Like, you don't have a lot of time to waste or space to give away.
No, you don't.
And being a person of love, and especially coming from love.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I attract that. Like, I attract love vampires, like energy vampires, people that just want to, like, receive and receive.
Soak it in. Just be
and
around
not give
you.
any back.
Just be around.
Just to be around. And now listen, I don't blame you.
Okay.
I don't blame you. It's not your fault, you know. A lot of people don't even know when they are doing that. They don't even know when they're just, like, taking, but it just feels so good to them. And some people don't know how to give it in return. I had to learn all these things. Like, I believed in the potential.
Ooh,
and
baby.
That's not my job. That's not my job. That's what God is for.
It's not your burden to carry.
That's between you and God, baby.
Clink, clink to that.
Clink, clink, girl.
It's above us.
It's above me.
Please let me.
It's above me. Sorry.
So I don't take that on anymore. However, when it comes down to an energy budget, which, by the way, I want to shout out Toni Jones, T-O-N-I Jones.
Oh my gosh, she put me on Toni Jones.
She is on
That's
YouTube.
My girl.
She has all these affirmations, and one of the affirmations that she has is called Energy Budget.
Yes, I love
and it
that
is
one.
so on point. I might even drop a little preview in this sound clip real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, because that'll be dope, right?
Let's do that.
Okay, so check out just a little portion of Energy Budget by Toni Jones, because she speaks, okay?
I'm seeing who are and aren't skilled to receive. I receive what others' blind spots are, teaching me about budgeting my energy and setting them boundaries. I have the right to tell people what they don't want to hear in the name of setting them boundaries. I also won't exhaust myself on people who ain't listening. I'm done with people pleasing and the attachment to make everyone happy with me.
That's our girl, Toni Jones. Like, she does not play. And these are things that I listen to every morning just to keep me in check and keep me anchored with what I'm doing and how the energy is so golden that you have to be able to protect it.
Yeah, and what also goes hand in hand with self-regulation is knowing when you just don't have the energy to give, when you're drained and you need to sit this one out. Hey, y'all, I can't meet y'all at the club. Like, I need to be with myself right now and restore and rejuvenate myself.
Yeah. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Again, yeah.
I get irritated. Like, I'll know when it's time for me to go home.
This one right here.
My energy is totally different when I'm drained versus when I'm, like, good and open. And that's how I know it's, like, time for me to exit stage left.
For sure. And another, like, key part of this is knowing your worth. That goes into the budget. Like, I had to stop showing up places for free. Like, if you're not paying me for my time, my presence, the energy, it's a no for me.
Right.
Because I know that the value I'm putting into this, just by being here, is worth it. You know, it's worth the fee, baby. It's worth all of that. So.
It's going to bring more value to your space and to your environment because I know my worth and I know how my light shines. So when I enter into your space, trust and believe I'm bringing all of my value with me. So I need you to recognize that in order for me to feel welcome and supported in the environment that you would like to welcome me into.
Exactly that.
My presence is a present. Kiss my ass. But I think that is really important, is knowing when you're drained. And not only knowing when you're drained, but knowing how to restore yourself. Like, knowing what makes you happy and what regulates your levels. Like, I think that's part of also staying anchored is what are the tools, what are the things that you use to regulate your energy. Like, I know for me, I gotta be in nature. Like, I'm gonna go to the beach, I'm gonna go hiking, I'm gonna be in the sun or something in order to feel like reset or rebalanced, or I'll take a nap.
She's so good
Don't
to
play
take
with
a
me
nap.
on mine. Okay?
Yeah, I'm so grateful to have access to resources like the beach, you know, hiking, all of these things that really make me feel good.
So good.
Make me feel alive.
Yeah. It's just amazing. I'm definitely grateful for that too. That's something about California, LA that I completely love, and like me leaving the East Coast, I couldn't do another winter. I could not.
Tell me about it.
Whereas out here, it's like sunshine every day. I can't be sad, and which means I'm not gonna have relationships with people or be in communities with people where I don't feel that love and support, where I feel out of alignment because like. No, I don't have to feel that way. I know I'm loved and I know I am loved, so I want to receive love because I give love. I need that reciprocation.
Always.
Period.
So moving on to our next point. In order to cultivate your community, you gotta have the right environment.
Yes, you gotta set your environment.
You gotta set the tone, baby. So where are you spending most of your time? You know, if you have a 9-to-5, a job that you're dedicating your 4 to 5 days out of the week to, make sure that they value you, babe.
Yes.
Make sure that you are valued in a way like it's just not, like you're there for the check and that's enough.
Don't sacrifice your spirit.
Don't sacrifice it. It's not worth it.
You're gonna know. Your spirit is gonna let you know whether or not you should still be here or not. And don't be afraid to leave where you're not valued.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you are the most important element in your life. So you can't place yourself in environments that don't believe and support you because you're just gonna drain yourself. So you gotta make the best decisions for yourself.
Exactly. You can't box yourself in, well, this is the easiest, quickest way to get money, or, you know, this is the most convenient. Like, again, don't sacrifice yourself for the sake of money.
Yeah. And so that also means, like, don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone and to try new things and to go new places. And moving from the East to the West Coast, like,
prime example.
Us meeting is a prime example.
Yes.
Like, we both showed up to a casting call for 𝑑avid_Sebastian. Shout out to 𝑑avid_Sebastian. He does great work within the community. And that's where I met the golden child. You know what I mean? So obviously we're there for a reason. But, you know, we both showed up by ourselves.
We literally, and I've never, that was my first time ever showing up to a casting call. So again,
and LA, me too.
So, boom. So again, having the right environment, you know, tapping in,
having that faith,
and then having the self-awareness, going back to our emotional intelligence to show up in all our glory.
Yeah, show up in your authenticity. So it was like,
as soon as I saw you,
I got off the elevator, she was like, okay. I'm like, who is this girl?
I'm like, I recognize a star when I see it because I'm a star.
Exactly. And that's how this works, if you didn't know. Real recognize real, stars recognize what? Stars. And that's how it works. And so when it does come down to environments, like there's so many different ways. Like, let's just say you are new to a city, or maybe you're not new, maybe you are from your hometown and everybody's the same. Like, what are some different ways that you can tap into expanding your community? Because I know it can be hard to kind of venture out by yourself, and especially as you're becoming an adult, or even if you're still in your teens. Like, for me, my parents did kind of start me young with, you know, volunteering opportunities, getting involved with different organizations, you know.
Right.
When I lived in DC, after I graduated college, I discovered meetup.com, and that's just like a website where you can literally choose your area that you live in and see different things that are happening in that area based on interest.
Oh, cool.
So, like, one of them that I found was it was called the Art of Living Foundation, which they have in different areas. And so I went to one of their meditation meetings and, like, learned how to meditate the right way. And from there, I learned how to do Sudarshan Kriya through, like, this 4-day thing. And then from there, it just, like, added to my community and to my mental health and my spiritual journey. And again, that's something that I did by myself. And it's like, at first, when you're moving around by yourself, it might be nerve-wracking, but on the other side of fear is discovery.
Oh, baby, tell it.
You know,
tell it.
And you never know what you don't know. And that's why we're here living on Earth, is to, like, discover. Like, it's never over, you know? And so there's local, there's online, there's all these different types of communities. And here in LA, we have discovered so many amazing,
my goodness,
incredible communities.
So blessed to be able to be a part of these communities, from Black Market Flea to Black on the Block,
Shout
Ebony
out.
Beach Club,
Everyday People,
which we're going to right after this.
It's about to get lit. I'm excited.
Yeah, so make sure you tap into, if you're in LA, some of these communities. We will definitely be consistently a part of these communities because they make us feel good.
Supported,
they
welcome,
make us feel supported,
embraced.
We can show up in our full power, in our full authenticity, and we know that we have a community that will celebrate us as we are celebrating ourselves, which
for sure
is the main topic, baby.
Yeah, definitely. And also those environments where it's like, I know a big part for me, even moving around, it's like I want to see what's out there, even if I need to volunteer and get in the streets with people. Like, that's something that has really helped, even me coming out here to LA. I've done some volunteering with I'm a Movement, like toy drives, and even we were talking about 𝒂𝒊𝒕𝒆𝒅, like the Friendsgiving and stuff like that. Like, just like really doing things that are outside of yourself. Like, I really feel like that's a part of finding more of yourself, is when you find more of yourself in other people. You know, just by things being greater than you, and realizing that you're a small part in a big community, but you can play a large role, especially when you take on that leadership power within you.
Wow.
No matter where you go, it doesn't matter if you're quote-unquote new.
Whether you're at work, whether you're in your local community, whether you're volunteering, show up boldly. Be a fierce leader, because there's someone counting on you. You know, there's someone waiting to kind of like see you in that light and you know, be influenced by you. And
follow your lead and find some of their power in just seeing you operate in yours. And I really believe in that, and I think that there's so much strength in that, and opportunity for us as Black women and as a community to take more of that leadership role. Whether you think you deserve it or not, you do. You're valuable. You got this. You know, if you have the desire and that passion within you, that's what we need, and that's what people are looking for. And I really feel like we have found communities like that out here. So I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for that. And I know that there's so many more that we're going to continue to tap into as we expand.
Absolutely. And even to think about how I've taken the initiative to speak to the businesses from Black on the Block and Black Market Flea, and bring my microphone out and be like, you know what? I'm already doing this.
Speak on it.
You know, on a one-to-one basis in real life. I might as well put a spotlight on what I'm doing, because I know that someone in my audience is going to look at this and be like, wow, that's really dope. Like, I could be doing that, you know, in my community, back wherever I am, you know. So, again, knowing that it's a part of something bigger than you.
Yeah, for sure. And that's Randi's eye, and you guys can look out for all of her dope content, because not only is she beautiful, but she's funny, and she really cares about the people. And you can see that in her connection with people, so that's so dope to see. And I think that even you saying, like, putting a spotlight on members in the community. When I lived in DC and I worked for this local television station, I had the opportunity to do a show for them, and it was called 𝑾𝒊𝒕𝒉. And I did over 55 episodes with them, and I just highlighted people, businesses, and organizations in the community doing outstanding work, like for the community, by the community, and just being able to tap into that light from other people and seeing where their passions are to give back and to build within the community. It just inspired me, and so it's so important to also give that light so other people can see it, because there's so much that you can get involved in and, like, really tap into and discover more about yourself along the way, you know.
Yes.
And then we also have our online community as well. Like, you guys, like, this is what we're building. This is what it's for. There's no limits to this.
Yeah. Wow.
So excited.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
So, leading to our last point for how to cultivate your community, you gotta have those empowering connections around you.
Period.
Woo!
Repeat that.
You gotta have your empowering connections around you.
You have to. I really feel like that's number one.
Yeah.
But you gotta build to that point. You gotta know who's for you and who's not. How it feels when you're supported.
Yeah, because if you follow those 4 E's before this, you'll be able to show up as your authentic self and then attract your tribe.
Yep.
To you.
And that's how you build that authentic connection. Like, once you know yourself, then you can speak and, again, share your dream and share your vision with other people and see who is like-minded and who wants to participate.
Yeah,
you
like,
know
who's really down for the cause? Are you down? Are you down?
Are you down?
That sounds good.
You do.
Yeah, your vibe attracts your tribe. We love to say
that. It does that.
So, support is active. It should not be someone who just watches from the sidelines. That's not enough.
We're not doing that.
Like, quite frankly, I don't really just need a cheerleader that's just like, go, no. You can do it. I need someone who's in the game, like, coaching me.
Who's holding you accountable.
Yeah, like, you need to pass me the ball so I can throw it back to you.
Yeah, and that's true. And it comes in different forms. Like, not everybody is the same. You might have somebody that is connected in different ways that you want to tap in to build with them. There might be somebody else that is more of a mentor to you, or an accountability partner for you, or somebody that just is doing so much better than you and they're that inspiration for you. Like, you have to have these different people in place so that you know that you're headed in the right direction and you're being held accountable for your vision and your dream.
Ooh, accountability.
Accountability.
Honestly, my life went up a notch when I started being around people who held me accountable. I don't need a yes man.
Yeah, no, not at all.
A yes man is going to keep me just on
consistent ground.
Yeah, and I want to elevate. I want to go higher. And I constantly say I want to go higher for the Lord's glory. Yeah. So I need people who are going to be like, nah, Ren.
That's not for you.
That's not like you. Like, I need you to, you know, realign, redirect.
That's so important. And that's that empowering element. Like, how does it feel? It feels like support. It feels like encouragement. It feels safe.
Yeah.
It feels like, you know, somebody has your back, or, you know, you have reliable people that you can trust, that are honest with you, that you can go to in your time of need, or in your
and
time
that
of advice.
they're holding you to a high
A standard of excellence. And that also depends on your intentions. Like, those are the people that we want around us, and that's what the new Black Girlz is about. That's the kind of community that we are building, because it's important as we expand into that next level that we've cultivated that kind of community around us, because that's our intention. You know, so your intention is also important. And knowing those signs, like some red and green flags, should we kind of go over some of those?
Just a little bit for the people.
So some red flags. I'm going to say a red flag is let's say it's a person, you could have called them a friend in the past, or an acquaintance, or a peer. But like you said, you've seen that they're more of a watcher, or somebody that just wants to know what you're up to, but isn't really supporting what you're doing. I call them data collectors.
Ooh.
Data collectors. Data, whichever one. Like, they're kind of just like seeing where you are, seeing if they still have access to you, but they're not bringing nothing to the table, to the potluck. They're just coming to eat.
So quick to text you, what are you doing this weekend?
What's the move?
Where are we going? What's the move? But won't ask you
Huh?
how your mental health is.
Yes.
Won't ask you about that business plan you started. Won't ask you about setting up a meeting so we could possibly collab, work together. Like, honestly, no more hangouts, babe. I need a meeting. Set up a meeting with me.
Yeah, because who has the time to just give away for free? Again, if it's not in alignment with your goals and your direction of where you're going? Now we're just wasting time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like we should have a purpose if we're meeting up. And the purpose should align with the direction of where we want to go, and we must have had similar interest or visions in order to be meeting up. Otherwise, there's no need to meet up. I'ma just see you on Instagram.
Yeah, and that also brings us to the point of shared values versus shared interests. Because just because we like the same things doesn't mean that we stand on the same morals. Doesn't mean that we're built the same, baby.
We don't have the same values, and that costs a lot of different relationships. Like, you know, you gotta let people go. You might have to cut people off once you realize that your values don't align, because that's the difference between you being successful versus you being held back because of the company that you keep. Ooh. It's real out here. And so you have to be intentional and aware of your surroundings and who you're choosing to be around. You know, what are some green flags?
Oh, okay. Green flags. I would say, I love this point. Make sure that the people that you surround yourself feel good to your nervous system.
Ooh, I love that.
Like,
feeling. What does it feel like to be around them?
Genuinely feel like when I'm around you, Jazz, I feel so light and just free, and I feel sexy.
Yeah.
I feel just liberated, you know? Like, those are all beautiful qualities that I would want to continue to build and be around.
I love that. And like, when I'm around you, I feel seen, I feel supported, I feel like my reflection is right here with me. Literally. Like, I do feel that ease, and I don't feel any type of nothing like you have to look out for, like, true support. What does that look like versus, you know, I know we've all been through different things like envy or insecurities or mistrust. Like, you know, you really need those strong, real bonds that are like, no, this is real. Like, this is beyond me. Yeah. Like, we've met for a reason that's greater than us both, but it's going to take us both operating at our highest selves to, like, really
rock with each other.
Really rock it, really kill it.
We here, baby. We made it. Cheers to us, baby.
Cheers.
Y'all, I hope y'all
I love that. I love that.
Happy Juneteenth.
I love that for us.
I do. I really do.
I love that for us, and I love that for you, too, because I hope, you know, with all of this stuff, you guys are really, like, kind of taking note and thinking about how this aligns with your own life and your own direction and the intentions that you want to set as you continue to cultivate your community.
Yes. So we are going to wrap everything up. We just want to leave you with a few affirmations that we like to say, okay? So for me, when I show up for myself, I show up for my community.
When I show up for myself, I show up for my community.
I am the creator of my own force field.
I am the creator of my own force field.
I gladly take up space by using my divine gifts synergistically to create a life of abundance.
Ooh, I love that one. I gladly take up space by using my divine gifts synergistically to create a life of abundance.
Yes, baby.
I love that, Randi.
Thank you. What are yours?
Y'all gotta repeat that, okay?
Okay,
repeat that
please
to
do.
yourself. So I have some that I would love to speak upon you all as an audience and upon your lives. I want you to know that you are enough.
You are enough.
Okay? Everything you need is inside of you.
Everything you need is inside of you.
And your light is so bright, so let it shine.
Your light is so bright, so let it shine.
Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hold on. This is my great grandmother's favorite song. I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Okay.
Amen.
I just want to take. I love all this energy and excitement, and I just really would love to take a deep breath with you and with all of our listeners as we close up, because we're gonna venture into our own spaces after this, and I want you to be able to step in a room like you own it, because you know who you are and you know the God essence within you.
Absolutely.
And you know you don't need anybody's validation for anything, because you are the validation. You're living proof of that validation, okay? And I need you to know and believe that. So let's just take a deep breath together.
1, 2, 3. Inhale.
Breathe in. Hold it. And breathe out.
That was necessary.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that for all of us.
Woo! Well, thank you all for joining us on our
so
first
much.
very episode of the new Black Girl.
It's been amazing.
And don't forget, you can stay connected with us across all platforms.
Everywhere.
TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter at the new Black Girls with a Z.
With a Z. And make sure, if you enjoyed this episode, that you share it with a friend.
Please.
Because they need this love, this life in their lives, okay? And we love you all so much. Make sure you stay anchored, and as always,
Keep that motherfucking flame lit.
it's the new Black Girls. 𝒂𝒐𝒏𝒆𝒄𝒕𝒆𝒅.